Glad you're joining us today.
Today, we're diving into something that can really change your life: habits.
Habits are the small things we do every day, but they add up and shape who we are.
So, whether it's something like drinking water in the morning or reading a book before bed, these little habits can make a big difference.
And today, we'll show you how to build habits that actually stick. Stay tuned. So, Gwen, why are habits so powerful?
Good question, Leo. Simply put, they make our days easier.
Hmm, I'm not sure I get what you mean.
Well, when something becomes a habit, your brain doesn't have to make a decision.
How come?
Your brain loves habits because they're like a shortcut to getting things done. Imagine your brain as a busy boss, always juggling a million things. Habits are like your personal assistants, taking care of the basic tasks so you can focus on the big stuff.
It's not like I have a lot of basic tasks that need to be taken care of.
You might be surprised to learn that a huge chunk of what we do every day is basically on autopilot.
A huge chunk?
According to a study from Duke University, about 40% of our daily actions are habits.
Wow, that much? So, by having habits, I can save a lot of brain power.
That's right. And the icing on the top is good habits can help you get healthier, be more productive, and feel better.
Are you saying that habits can shape our lives?
That's right. It's the little things, done every day, that make the difference.
Give me an example, please.
Like if you read just 10 minutes every day, at the end of the year, that's over 60 hours of reading.
That's like a whole month of reading.
And here's another one: drinking water first thing in the morning.
That sounds simple enough.
It really helps you wake up and feel more awake.
Hmm. I usually grab coffee first. Maybe I'll try water instead and see how I feel.
Give it a go. The little habits we do every day can make a big difference in how we feel and how we do things.
All right, I'm on it. I'll start reading for 10 minutes every day. Let's see how it goes.
And before you know it, they become part of your routine already.
Gwen, I'm really curious about how habits actually form. Can you break it down for me?
Sure thing, Leo. Habits are formed through a simple loop: cue, routine, and reward.
A loop? What's the cue then?
The cue is like a trigger or a sign that gets things rolling. For example, when your alarm goes off in the morning, that's your cue to get up.
Oh, I see. So then comes the routine.
The routine is what you do after you get the cue. So when your alarm rings, your routine might be jumping out of bed and doing some quick stretches or exercises to get your day started.
Got it. And then what's the reward?
The reward is the payoff after you do the routine. It's like the good feeling you get when you're all stretched out and ready to go. You feel awake and energized.
So it's like a cycle. The cue gets me going, the routine is what I do, and the reward is how good I feel afterward.
That's right. And the more you repeat it, the easier it is to stick with it.
Wow, I think I'm finally getting the hang of how habits work. But let's admit that taking up a habit is not easy.
You're right, Leo. The key is to start small and be consistent. Don't try to dive in with a huge goal right off the bat.
How do you do that?
For example, if you want to work out, don't set a goal of an hour every day. Start with just 10 minutes.
10 minutes? That doesn't sound so bad. But will it actually make a difference?
Of course, a study by Dr. Philippa Lally at University College London found that consistency is what makes a habit stick.
So, it's all about doing it regularly, even if it's just a little bit at a time?
Yep. Think about brushing your teeth. Nobody needs to remind you, right? That's the power of consistency.
Well, yeah, that's true. I never miss it.
That's it. When you start small and keep it up, it's easier to make it part of your routine.
Sounds like I just need to stick with it and stay patient. I can do that.
Sure, you can. And so can you, our dear listeners.
All right, Gwen, let's go over some new vocabulary for today. First, icing on the top. It means something extra or special that makes a good situation even better. For example, the surprise party was great, but the cake was the icing on the top.
Second, get the hang of something. It means to learn how to do something well after some practice. For example, it took me a few tries, but I finally got the hang of cooking pasta.
Third, take up something. It means to start doing a new activity or hobby. For example, I decided to take up painting as a hobby.
Fourth, right off the bat. It means immediately or as soon as something begins. For example, he understood the problem right off the bat and started solving it.
Finally, keep it up. It means to continue doing something. For example, you're doing a great job, keep it up.
Now, let's discuss two questions about our topic. First question is, why do you think breaking tasks into small steps is important for forming habits?
It is because breaking tasks into smaller steps makes it easier to start and stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed.
That's a good point. The second question is, if you want to build a new habit, how would you start?
I'd start with a small, easy task and do it regularly until it becomes part of my routine.
What about you, listeners?
Share your answers in the comment section below. Hey Gwen, I've got this bad habit of checking my phone first thing in the morning. How do I kick that?
That's a tough one. But here's the thing, you don't have to cut it out completely.
How can I even do that?
Try replacing it with something better.
Replace it? How does that work?
Well, you could switch it up by doing something else,
For example,
like drinking a glass of water and taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply. That'll help you kick off the day on the right foot.
so you mean instead of just trying to stop the bad habit, I should fill the gap with something better?
That's right. When you replace it with a healthier habit, you're not leaving any room for the old one to creep back in.
That makes sense.
And over time, that healthy habit will stick. The more you do it, the less you'll even think about your phone.
I get it now. So, if I swap phone checking for water and a deep breath, I might actually feel better.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give it a shot tomorrow morning.
You definitely should.
But how do I know if it's actually working?
That's a great question. One way to stay on track is to track your progress.
Do you mean writing down what I do every day?
Things like that. You can keep a simple journal or use an app to keep an eye on your habits.
Does that help with maintaining my habits?
Apparently, it does. Teresa Amabile and Stephen Kramer found that when you see yourself making progress, even if it's just a little bit, it really motivates you to keep going.
Who are they?
They are two professors from Harvard.
Sound legit. So just looking back and seeing what I've done makes me want to keep going?
You've got the point.
I see. It's kind of like a reminder that I'm not just doing this for nothing.
And that positive feedback encourages you to carry on.
I feel like I need something to push me a bit more.
That's where rewards come in. You can treat yourself when you hit a goal.
Like what?
So, for example, if you keep up your habit for 30 days, you could reward yourself with something you really like. Maybe something on your wish list.
How does that work?
When you have something to look forward to, it makes it easier to stay on track.
I see. I'm with you on that.
So, a reward helps you stay focused and gives you a sense of achievement, which pushes you to keep going.
I love the idea of treating myself. I'll definitely try that for my next goal.
And don't forget, rewards help you stay consistent in the long run.
All right, Gwen, let's go over some more vocabulary today. First, cut something out. It means to remove or stop doing something. For example, I decided to cut out sugar from my diet to feel better.
Second, switch something up. It means to change or replace something to make it different. For example, let's switch up the routine today and try something new.
Third, creep back in. It means something slowly returns or reappears, often unexpectedly. For example, old habits can creep back in if you're not careful.
Fourth, give something a shot. It means to try or attempt something, even if you're not sure it will work. For example, I'm not sure if I can do it, but I'll give it a shot.
Finally, keep an eye on something. It means to watch something carefully or pay attention to it. For example, can you keep an eye on the oven? All right, Gwen, here's a question for you.
Sure. What is it?
What's a good way to break a bad habit?
I would say replacing the bad habit with a healthier one, so there's no room for the old habit to come back.
That makes sense. Now, it's your turn to ask me a question.
All right, Leo, if you're trying to stay focused, how do you keep yourself on track?
I try to break tasks into smaller steps and focus on one thing at a time.
Wise move.
So, Gwen, after everything we've talked about, what's the big takeaway?
Well, Leo, small habits really can make a big difference. It's all about starting small and sticking with it.
Yeah, just pick one habit and begin today, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day.
And if you keep at it, you'll see positive changes in your life.
So, what are you going to do? I'm going to start with reading for 10 minutes a day.
I love that. I'm thinking about taking up running for 10 minutes every day.
That's great. And what about you, our listeners?
Tell us what you're going to do in the comment section below.
Thanks for tuning in to Podcast and Chill. I'm Leo.
And I'm Gwen. See you next time.